Hello, everyone, and welcome to Internet Law Review. I hope you're having a great day. And for today's story, I want to share a legal story from history. The takeaway lesson is don't confess because bad things will happen. So, hello, everyone, and hold on. Okay, let's try that again now that I don't have it playing in the background. So, anyways, our story concerns a guy named Paul Warner Powell. And what the interesting aspect of this story is that he was initially convicted of first degree murder, sentenced to death, and then on appeal to the Virginia Supreme Court, the Virginia Supreme Court overruled the death sentence because he was charged with capital murder on the basis of murder in furtherance of another serious crime, in this particular case, a rape. And the Virginia Supreme Court found that there was insufficient evidence of the rape. Well, did he commit the rape? Well, we're going to find out about that because it didn't go well for our friend here because he didn't quite understand the law. So let us read what it has to say and we'll all learn something together. So a little bit of background here, just in terms of the factual background. The person who was killed is named Stacy, and Stacy's death was caused by a stab wound to her chest. The wound pattern indicated that the blade of the knife pierced her heart and was twisted upon withdrawal. The blade of Powell's knife was consistent with the stab wounds. There were numerous bruises on Stacy's head, neck, chest, abdomen, back, arms, and legs. She suffered stab wounds in her back and arm. She also had abrasions on her left hand and wrist that were characterized as defensive wounds. Stacy's body contained bruises on the lower neck that were consistent with someone stepping or stomping on the face. Police officers arrested Powell on January 30th, 1999 at the home of a friend. Police officers located a blue sports bag that belonged to Powell, 9mm semi-automatic pistol with a full magazine. The bag also contained a survival knife with a 5 1/2-inch blade inside a black sheath and a butterfly knife with a 5-inch blade. The survival knife sheath contained a dark reddish-brown stain. The DNA profile obtained from the stain was consistent with the DNA profile of Stacy Reed and different from that of Kristen Reed and Paul Powell. So whether or not he committed the murder is not really the interesting issue. It's whether or not there was the rape. After his arrest, Powell consented to several interviews with the police officers. During one interview, he stated he had been in Reed's home on January 29th, 1999, and Stacy was dead because she was stupid. Powell told police officers that he and Stacy had an argument because she had a black boyfriend, and Powell didn't agree with interracial dating. So just to add to this panoply of horror, this is all a racial hate crime too. Powell claimed during the argument that Stacy attacked him and scratched his face and she pushed her to the floor. He claimed that Stacy attacked him again and she got stuck on his knife. Powell initially denied raping Christie. Okay, so there was an initial trial. He was initially convicted, first-degree murder, basis of the rape. Appealed to the Commonwealth of Virginia Supreme Court. They said there's insufficient evidence of rape, so they set aside the death penalty. But that's not where it ends. Because there was a second trial. In the second trial, the jury was informed that after the court's decision in Powell's first appeal, Powell wrote 2 letters to the Commonwealth's attorney of Prince William County, Paul Ebert. Below is the content of the letter that Powell wrote, dated October 21st, 2001. So, yes, after his initial thing was set aside, after the death penalty was set aside, he wrote a letter to the Commonwealth's attorney. Let us read what he had to write. Mr. Ebert, it's always nice to be polite, I suppose. Since I've already been indicted on first-degree murder, and the Virginia Supreme Court said I can't be charged with capital murder again, I figured I'd show you the rest of what happened on January 29th, 1999, to show you how stupid all you motherfuckers are. So his confusion here, by the way, is that double jeopardy applies if you've been acquitted. He wasn't acquitted. He was convicted, and his sentence was set aside. But that doesn't mean that double jeopardy is a problem because he could be tried again. Now, if he just kept his mouth shut, the state would have probably just let it go with the life imprisonment. But what did he do? He said, "Oh, I can't be tried again." He was mistaken. So he decided to write this letter. This is where the stupid really comes into the play. Y'all should have known there was more to the story than what I told by what I said. You had it in writing I planned to kill the whole family. Since I planned to kill the whole family, why wouldn't I have fought with Stacy before killing her? She had no idea I was planning to kill everyone and talked and carried on like usual, so I could have stabbed her up any time because she was unsuspecting. I had other plans before she died. You know how I came back to the house after Bobby's lunch break was over and he went back to work. When I got back, she said she was on the phone, so I went inside and laid down on the couch. When the cab came to bring me my pager, I ran out of the house and she jumped and got off the phone and came to the porch to see why I ran out of the house like I did. When the cab left, we went into the house. I lay on the couch again and she went to her room and got her clothes and went downstairs to do her laundry. When she went downstairs, I got up and shut and locked the back door and went downstairs. We talked while she put clothes in the wash. We continued talking when she had everything in the wash. I reached over and touched her and asked if she wanted to have sex. She said no because she had a boyfriend. I started arguing with her because she never really turned anybody down because of having a boyfriend. Just a nice touch. We started walking upstairs arguing the whole time. When we got upstairs, she went to her room and turned the radio off. After she turned the radio off, I pushed her onto her bed and grabbed her wrist and pinned her down by her head and I sat on top of her. I told her that all I wanted to do was have sex with her and I'd leave her and we could do it the easy way or the hard way. Great. She said she would have sex with me, so I got up. After I got up, she got up and we started fighting with me and clawed me in the face. We wrestled around a little bit and I slammed her to the floor. When she hit the floor, I sat on top of her head and pinned her down again. She said she'd have sex with me again. I told her we tried fighting with me again, I'd kill her. When she got up and stood up and asked me why I was doing this, I said, is to take her clothes off. Finally, she undid her pants and pulled them down to her ankles. She's getting ready to take them the rest of the way down, and the phone rang. When she heard the phone, she pulled her pants back up. She said she had to answer the phone. I pushed her back, and she said no. She said she wouldn't say anything about me being there and told her no to take her clothes off. She tried to get out of the room again and pushed her back and pulled out my knife. I guess she thought I was just trying to scare her. I wouldn't really stab her because she was trying to leave again. When she got to me and tried to squeeze me between me and the door jamb, I stabbed her. When I stabbed her, she fell back against the door jamb and she just looked at me shocked with a look on her face. When I pulled the knife out, she started to stumble a couple steps and she fell into her sister's room. I walked out and looked at her. I saw that she was still breathing, so I stepped on over her body and into the bedroom. Then I could put my foot on her throat and stepped up so she couldn't breathe. Then I stepped down and started stomping on her throat. Then I stepped back onto her throat and moved up and down, putting more pressure to make it harder to breathe. When I didn't see her breathing anymore, I left the room and got some iced tea, and sat on the couch and smoked a cigarette. You know the rest of what happened after that point. I'd like to thank you for saving my life. You know I'm probably wondering how you saved my life, so I'll tell you. You saved my life by screwing up. There are two main screw-ups you made to save me. The first was the way you worded my capital murder indictment. The second was the comment you made in your closing argument when you said you wouldn't know because he wouldn't tell us. Thank you. Now you know everything that happened in the house. Thank you. Now that you know everything that happened in the house of 8023 McLean Street on January the 29th, 1999. I guess I forgot to mention these events while I was being questioned. Ha ha, psych. I knew what y'all would be able to prove in court, so I told you what you already knew. Stacy was dead, and no one else was in the house, so I knew you would never know everything that went through unless she came back to life. Since the state Supreme Court said I can't be charged with capital murder again, I'll tell you what I just told you because I no longer have to worry about the death penalty. See, this is why you shouldn't amateur a lawyer right here. And you're all supposed to be so goddamn smart. I can't believe you thought I told you everything. I'm sure they in no way thought that. They just couldn't prove anything else. But, thanks for the letter. And the letter just gets better and better at its language. Well, it's too late now. Nothing you can do about it now, so screw you, your fat, cock-sucking, other language. I guess I'm going to see your bitch ass on December the 18th at trial because I'm not pleading to shit. Tell the family to be ready to testify and relive it all again because I have to suffer the next 50 or 60 years, however long they can suffer for the torment of reliving for what happened for a couple of days. I'm gone. Screw you and anyone like you or associates of people with like you. I almost forgot. Screw your God too. Jesus knows how to... Wow. Jesus knows how to suck a dick real good. Did you teach him? Whew. Well, die a slow, painful, miserable death. See you, punk. Do you just hate yourself for being so stupid and fucking up and saving me? Sincerely, Paul Powell. So, this is just all kinds of special. It's just amazing. Well, they didn't have enough proof of your intent to commit rape before, but They do now. So, thanks for that note. In a statement to the police officer on November the 2nd, 2001, so this would be after he sent the letter, the police wanted to have a word with him. He said the following statement regarding this. She walked up to, and I pushed her back. And then she walked over to me again, and I think I pulled the knife out, and she looked at me. I guess she thought I wouldn't stab her or whatever, so she tried to leave and go answer the phone. That's that. After she got stabbed, she just looked at me for a minute, and then she was surprised, and then I pulled the knife out, so she stumbled a few steps, fell down in Christy's doorway. I just walked over and looked at her, and I stepped on top of her and stepped on her throat, and then I stood on her throat, and then I stomped on her throat. Then I stood on her throat until I didn't see her breathing no more. What I'm just saying is I stepped on her. I'm saying I put all my weight on her. I'm saying that I put my foot there, and I lifted myself up where I was standing on top of her, started stomping on her throat, and then, man, I just stood on her throat until I didn't see her breathe no more. Yeah. Before, yeah. Yeah, he did have good manners in his angry, ranting notes. He signed his name sincerely. He addressed the DA by name. So I guess he had good manners. That's a note of something. Before he raped Christy, Powell knew they intended to kill her. In response to the police officer's question, before you raped Christy, did you know you were going to kill her, didn't you? Paul responded, I really didn't have a choice, did I? I mean, presumably you did. Oh, and it just gets worse. Just in case you guys, at any time, you thought this guy still had redeeming qualities. Just in case you were concerned, this guy might have redeeming qualities. It gets worse. It gets worse. How can it get worse? Let's discuss. While incarcerated in jail awaiting his capital murder trial, Powell sent a letter to Lorraine Reed, the mother of Stacy and Christy. Powell enclosed a photograph of a partially nude woman. Powell wrote, Lorraine. It's a little casual, isn't it, to refer to the mother of your person you stabbed by first name, but whatever. Lorraine, I was wondering if you might be able to help me think of something. I found this picture in a magazine, and it kind of looks like someone I know or used to know, but I can't think of the person's name. I think you know the person, too, so I was wondering if you could tell me the name of the person this picture resembles so I can quit racking my brain trying to think of it. Would appreciate it. If you don't know the person I'm talking about, ask Christy or Kelly Welsh, because they would know who I'm thinking of. If you talk to the person I'm thinking about, please give her her address and tell me to write me. Good. The partially nude woman in the photograph resembled Lorraine's daughter, Stacy. Powell wrote a letter to a friend while he was incarcerated. He said, ask when you asked me, I wouldn't do that to you. What I did to Stacy, I couldn't ever hurt you because you mean so much to me. See, Stacy didn't do anything to me. She was a black person lover, and some of her wannabe skinhead friends were supposed to kill me. That's part of the reason she died. Almost everything that happened in that house was planned. The only thing that wasn't planned was trying to have sex with Christy. What was supposed to happen was Stacy was supposed to die, and did. Christy was supposed to die, and I was going to wait for their mom and stepdad to get home, and I was going to kill them, and I was going to take their mom's truck, and I was going to go to North Carolina and knock this dude off that stole all my clothes and everything else I owned. I've been thinking about doing it for a long time, but I couldn't ever bring myself to do it. Apparently, this guy has restraints at some level. Okay. I don't know what happened to me to finally make me do it. I feel bad for doing it. Stacy was a good kid. In yet another letter, he wrote, Hey babe, what's happening? Not too much here. I'm writing to see if you could get one of your guy friends to do me a favor. You know that Christy's telling the cops things and she's going to testify against me in court. I was wondering if you could get someone to go on a payphone and call Christy and tell her she better call the cops, tell the cops she lied to them. She better not testify against me or she's going to die. Just witness intimidation, just to add that little extra, Powell sent another letter to the Prince William County attorney, Fat Ebert. So now he's being a little less nice, whatever. As a matter of fact, to answer your question, yes, he did survive to reach his sentence. He was executed by the electric chair at his request in 2000. 2010. So he did survive. Virginia, of course, has lethal injection, but he requested the electric chair. So he was electrocuted in 2010. I don't feel very bad for this guy. I'm not sure about you guys. Fat Ebert. What up, you fathead fucker? I'm just writing to tell you, since you want to kill me so goddamn for killing your black person loving whore, set a court days closer to October 25th. So I go ahead and get this bullshit over and plead guilty so you can kill me and get it over with. Unless you really want to let me out so I can kill the rest of the black lovers and all the, yeah, black people, lovers, Jews. I believe that's a slur for Hispanics, right? And everything else in this fucked up country that's not white. That includes you because you area black person loving Jewish fucking faggot. I'll see you in hell, bitch. Your buddy Paul Powell. P.S. Watch your back. The jury viewed the writings and drawings taken of Powell jail cell that demonstrate his hatred of people who are not Caucasian, in case you couldn't tell. Additionally, the jury heard evidence that Powell told police officers that he was a racist. Yeah, and described his violent racial views. He stated, everyone that ain't white shouldn't. He needs to die. Powell told a police officer he wants someone to purchase a gun, to kill somebody, kill a lot of somebody's, just for something to do. The jury was aware of criminal record, including 3 convictions for contributing to the delinquency of a minor, 2 larceny convictions, and 3 felony convictions for abduction, rape, and attempted murder of Christie. Well, that is the end of the story. I started halfway through the story because I didn't want to go through all the amazing detail in terms of all the facts of exactly how this murder took place because there was quite a lot of detail. I thought maybe we would skip just to keep what's left of our stomach going. But the lesson here, by the way, guys, if you want your takeaway note, the lesson here is A, you should invoke your right to remain silent. Don't talk to the cops. B, if your sentence is set aside by the Virginia Supreme Court, you might want to call a lawyer before you send a letter fully confessing to everything to the DA because you may not have a fully wonderful view of the law. And yeah, so anyways, he's dead now, and I don't feel bad. So, I personally don't oppose the death penalty on moral levels. I think I have some pragmatic considerations, but on a moral level, I think it's fine. And this guy's my case in point. I don't feel bad he's dead. So yeah. So, anyways, yeah, skipping it was a good choice. I think it was a good choice too. We got enough of the factual background from the knife being twisted in the heart and the being stomping on the throat and stuff. The rest of the facts were even more disturbing. Lesson C, don't commit murder and rape. That is also a good takeaway lesson. That is a very good lesson. Do not commit murder and rape. And, don't kill people because they're dating people of an opposite sex. That or opposite race. Or either one, really. You shouldn't kill people just because their preferences don't align with yours. So, yeah. So really, that's all I have for today. It's a really, really short stream. I brought this up because I'm a Virginia resident and I saw this, and I thought it was an interesting story from a piece of Virginia's past. So, I guess some people really do get what's coming to them. So there is some justice left in this world for somebody. So that's it for now. Don't commit murders. Don't commit rapes. And talk to your attorneys. And don't hate people because they're other races than you. That seems like a total waste of time. I don't really understand it. It seems odd to me. I don't know. Anyways, that's all for tonight. Hope you're well. Until later, cheers and goodbye.